Hey yo guys, time for another edition of Pillar 2 Post with the Dirty White Boy, the weekly edition of the news of the week in the world of pro wrestling. So let's just get into it. And before we get into it actually, there's a couple links I'm going to put into the description. One is the petition, a petition to sign for legalizing mixed martial arts in Canada and in the state you live in. Is not regulated. It's not regulated in all of the states, but it's regulated in 30 or more of the 50 states in the US. In Ontario, it's not regulated at all because it is believed that it's a violent sport and it's going to lead to deaths when statistically there's only been 2 deaths in the sport, and one of those was in a non-sanctioned event, because compared to boxing where there was like at least a 20-to-1 ratio of deaths versus MMA. And the fact that the training's completely different. So please sign that petition and it would be much appreciated. The second link I'm going to put is, since tonight on Raw, Maria's going to unveil the cover, well, I can show you some of the pictures that I found on, so a link was given to me by someone, so I will post that link there and for you to check out. But now we can get into the news of the week. And I'm going to also put a link of Match of the Year candidate so far from All Japan Pro Wrestling's show over the weekend. You really need to check it out. So the news. Rey Mysterio finally underwent surgery last Wednesday for his torn bicep muscle. He postponed the surgery that was originally set for last Friday. The surgeon noted it was the worst tear that he had ever seen, and he apparently did more damage on it by working the No Way Out review against Edge and his match on Chavo against a match on SmackDown against Chavo. And Mysterio is expected to be out anywhere from 6 to 9 months. That is definitely heartbreaking because he just came back from an injury at SummerSlam till now. He was really looking forward to being at Mania. Well, that obviously won't happen, and it's an in-ring capacity. At least he will probably be there in his appearance. Maybe even show up in the Floyd Mayweather Big Show match, but it doesn't look that way. That just really sucks for Mysterio, and it is disappointing because I would have liked to see him on the card. And this is the most shocking story coming from the WWE. WWE.com has now an industry news section where they lift stories off various websites with news going to increase the traffic. They even have a story listing on TNA house shows and dates along with last Impact results and stuff with Ring of Honor. I really don't see this lasting long because the people who were in charge of the website were like Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, who are big pro on the website being kayfabe related. This obviously is a Shane McMahon decision, who always felt the website should break kayfabe and be more open, so people will maybe check out the news there. I also see this. It won't last long and it'll go back to being kayfabed up pretty quick. I also see this as a piece for dirt sheet websites or any other wrestling websites to write good positive pieces about the WWE so they can get, their story on there and make them look good. And, now this is kind of bad because I guess you couldn't really truly voice your opinion on WWE, but I don't think that's going to affect it. I don't think it'll last long. So if you're a wrestling fan going to WrestleMania or any other event on the week of WrestleMania, you're going to have a lot of stuff to choose from. The Thursday of the event, of that week of WrestleMania, March 27th, you can go either to TNA Impact Live, because they're going live that weekend, which is a brilliant move in my opinion. It's going to cost them a lot of money, but that's a smart move. You have to go live during that time. Or WWE's Fan Access, which is in the Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. So that's going to be kind of tough one. Personally, I'd choose the TNA here. Friday, you can see Ring of Honor's Dragon Gate Challenge 2, TNA Impact taping, and WWE Fan Access. I would definitely check the Ring of Honor Dragon Gate Challenge out because that was a great show. Dragon Gate Challenge 1. You need to check out the Dragon Gate guys in the States, so I would too. Saturday, there's going to be WWE's Hall of Fame, Ring of Honor Super Card of Honor 3, TNA Impact taping with an early start so it won't conflict with the Hall of Fame, and Fan Access. This one, it would be a no-brainer. I would probably check out the Impact taping just because I don't know. The Ring of Honor show seems to be more of a 7 o'clock start, and the would be the thing in the night I would check out. Sunday is WrestleMania, and Monday is WWE Raw. So that's a lot you can choose from. I mean, hell, I may even have to go now just to check out one of those events. But for those of you who cannot make the show, you can still order it on pay-per-view, but here in Canada, it's very pricey. It's now $54.99, which is a bit of an increase in price, but that's a lot of money just for pay-per-view, man. Hulk Hogan in the news again. His terrible 2007 is turning an even worse 2008. There's a story in the National Enquirer, which we all know how true those stories are, reporting that Hogan was having an affair last year with 33-year-old Christina Plant, who was a close friend of Hogan's daughter Brooke. The story states that the two began seeing each other prior to Linda filing for divorce, but with the marriage ending, nearing its end. Brooke posted on her MySpace blog that she is devastated and very upset over the news that her friend would start sleeping with her father. Wow, that's just intense. Damn, Hogan's getting no love right now. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with Hogan. Over the weekend, Dory Funk Jr. had his final match in Tokyo. He and Osamu Nishimura beat Geiki Tenryu and Masanobu Fuchi in the semi-main event of the match of the year candidate between Tanahashi, Keiji Mutoh, Kawada, and Tayio. The fans booed like crazy every time Tenryu chopped him, and they did a big retirement ceremony at the end of the show as well. So that's nice to see. I mean, Dory had a big career over there, and it's kind of sad that Dory Funk's retiring. I mean, he should have retired a long time ago, in my opinion, but, you know, he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, former NWA World Champion, and he held it for a long time, so he's just one of the best, and it's kind of sad that all these old-timers from the NWA are retiring. First Dory Funk, and now it's going to be flipped. It's a shame. Ring of Honor has decided to remove the controversial footage of the Angle shot at their 6th anniversary show from the upcoming DVD release of that show this weekend. The Angle, which as stated in the last edition, involved Sweet and Sour Incorporated leader Larry Sweeney knocking Allison Danger out with the microphone before forcing Bobby Dempsey to get on top of her and to have sexual assault on the victim. Personally, I would have left it on. I understand why you're taking it off, and I'm fine with you taking it off, but I would have left it on just so the fans who weren't there can get a view of what happened. Because the only people we're going to have to rely on are people who were there, and the story can get twisted. So if I can see it on the DVD, it's going to help change my opinion of it. I heard it wasn't that bad, but others said it was the most disgusting thing they'd ever seen at a Ring of Honor show. And I have to agree, because you're doing a rape angle at a show filled with women and children, so you don't really want to take them to the product. You may just turn your back on the product. But I still say we should see it, just to get our own views of it. Piero Aguirre Jr. versus Hector Garza in a hair versus hair match is official for CML's first big show of the year on March 1st. And this will do huge business because it's a hair versus hair match, and these two have had a heated feud. Averino and Mephisto are the newest members of Los Perros de Mal, and will also defend the tag titles against Ultimate Guerrilla and Atlantis. And that's just big. I mean, it's good to see CML get some big business. They've had some good to disappointing shows. There were those two teams of Averino and Mephisto they were defending the belts against Ultimate Guerrilla and Atlantis, the CML tag title rematch, which is good, and that was a match of the year candidate from them as well. Matt Hardy, he did a run-in at Fort Wayne in Indiana's house show this weekend, laying MVP out, so it's expected he'll be on the taping tomorrow night, and he'll show up on the Friday edition of SmackDown. And on a sad note to end the news, former wrestler Dan Curtis competed in the 50s and 60s after being trained by the legendary Lou Thesz, suffered a massive stroke on last Tuesday, and was discovered by his wife Dottie with his face in a pool of his own blood. Curtis has been transferred to a hospital, and our thoughts and prayers go with him to his family. That's a very sad story. Anytime you're dealing with a stroke, and especially since he was lying in his pool of his own blood, hopefully he makes recovery and, you know, can live through it. I mean, he's a wrestling legend, So, I mean, he did compete in the 30s, and he's done something, had something happen to him that not many people haven't get trained by Lou Fez. I don't know how successful his career, but still, I mean, he's one of the old timers. You gotta show respect to those guys. But anyway, that's it for me. I'll hit you later. I'll see you Friday for the TNA Destination X pay-per-view predictions, and yeah, I'm out. Peace.